Will the Nazis finally do something here? That's the question that we're all kind of asking ourselves in this episode. If Paris falls, obviously that's going to be a lot of power to Hitler. But you never know with this AI. This AI has been really weird in this game. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe it's because we've got all these different personalities, maybe these radical personalities with the mods. Maybe it's because of the weird map size. I don't know, but there's been some really strange AI behaviors. Behaviors that we have not seen before. Some very weird ones. Yeah, I don't exactly know. Also, are the Moors planning on attacking Paris from the south? Because that looks like that might be a plan. They're moving through Spanish lands, and then again, as I said in the last video, I talked about how this would cause some major tension between the Nazis and Spain, who's doing they're really well off in Europe, so that could be very interesting. Alright, let's go to the next turn. It's turn 237 at the moment, so things are getting crazier and artillery is coming, and everyone knows artillery becomes a pretty big deal for the AI. Okay, so the first hit, we've got the first attack on Paris, taking a bit away of, the thing for the Nazis at the moment is they don't have, like, range units here. They're just going to melee the crap out of Paris, which is not a bad idea, especially because all of this is open terrain. So it's kind of, the terrain is geared towards, I think, German favor. Japan and Chile at war. Is there anything else? Just a lot of notifications. I'm so glad, I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but I turned off the sound effects for notifications, denouncements, because that used to bother the crap out of me. Whoa! Oh, no, I'm so dumb. I was going to say, yeah, never mind. Okay, so Paris is for sure falling here, but we don't know if it's going to be the Moors that take him over. I'm so stupid. I don't know why when I read that initially, I was like, oh, the Moors declared war on Spain instead. What? I totally got that wrong, but it's like, no, that is exactly what I thought was going to happen. So yeah, that's for sure pretty much a guarantee, is that Paris will fall, but it's totally possible that the Moors steal this away, which I think would be, I don't even know, that'd just be a huge mess. Stalin's pieced out with somebody. This is really good for Hitler, actually, because he really needed this. He needs, because like I said, he doesn't have, his plan is to melee the crap out of the city. Which, as I said, is not a terrible idea, although this pikeman is not in a good position. They're stealing away tiles from the Moors, and if the Moors bring range units over, these cavalry, I don't know if those are ranged. That looks like an arrow, but I'm willing to bet, yeah, they're holding bows. So these must be ranged cavalry, I'm guessing. Egypt versus England, or Great Britain. So many denouncements, because no one has really died. Ooh, Nazis declared war on Kiev. They better watch that, or they might get distracted by Novgorod. The Nazis and Stalin both going to war after Kiev. That's kind of interesting. We've already seen Kiev try to take out Moscow, and it didn't work out well. That's really all Stalin needs to do. Why did the British declare that war against Egypt? That's really weird. They must have thought they had a chance or something. I don't know. So let's see how much the Moors help out here. I still don't think they're going to be able to help out that much this turn. I think give them another turn, and then possibly. Is Paris like a really well defended city or what? Doesn't seem like they're doing that much damage. I mean, I don't think technology-wise. I think if they would have waited for the next big upgrade of units, then maybe Hitler would be in a little bit better of a position. Also, I'm kind of curious to see how Stalin goes after Kiev. Both pretty okay in technology. Those two over there in the east. I also wanted to check if the Nazis are going after Novgorod, which is not good, because it's not like Stalin is going to go after Novgorod. He's going to go after Kiev, the capital. Don't be distracted, Germany. Do not be distracted, man. I don't know what you're doing. Have there been any other wars? Yes. So we have got Finland trying to join in on the French war, but yeah, nothing will happen there. California and Chile. No, I'm sorry, that is Texas, and that's Japan. Earlier, Japan declared war on. Oh, no. I'm wrong about all that. Yes, because dang it, I've been wrong about this for a while. I keep getting Texas. I've always done that. Chile and Texas, I get them mixed up, and I've been doing that for a while in this series. Argentina looks like they've got somewhat of a plan, though, having all these crossbowmen. doing quite a bit of damage. We'll see if they can finally take them over. Again, this is the second time we've seen, or maybe, is it the third? I don't even know how many times we've seen almost Santiago de Chile almost fall. They've always been in like the yellow or the red. So there is a French musketeer. It's interesting that this mod didn't choose to replace really anything. This mod, I don't know if it just changed around its leader. I'm sure because they changed the leader, it changed the flavor. So he's definitely different from Napoleon, but would have liked if we had different colors here for France. But whatever. If anything, the Moors might be able to take down this French musketeer, which would obviously help out Germany quite a bit. There's a trebuchet and a crossbowman now that can do a few range attacks. Everyone else is kind of low health, but I think it is safe to say they're not even contributing at all. What are you doing? I mean, that's kind of a smart game plan if you really think about it. There's Texas and Chile. Okay, wait, is it? No, that's Texas and Lincoln. I'm sorry. You know what? I need to make sure that's a rule for me next time. No more star symbols because it's too complicated. So Texas is going to go after Washington. We'll see how he does. Lincoln is still, he's not doing bad still. I know that he's only at one city, but I'm just saying it's not the worst situation that America could be facing. It's still going to be difficult for Texas to move through the hills and the river. And there's enough units here. I don't know. We'll see. If the Confederate States get involved, then that will be different. And now that I think about it, look at Richmond. What are you doing? Oh my God. This is what I was talking. That's why I wanted to preface. It beforehand. Germany just peaced out with France. This is exactly what I'm saying. Why? I don't understand that. I have no idea why we did not see any stupid behavior like that in the AI-only Europe map. But we're seeing some really weird things. And this could go to the Moors, but I don't even know if the Moors are going to take them down. The Nazis are not going to have an easy time attacking Novgorod. That's for sure. It's funny because I know how many people picked Germany to win this game. And I just, I could hear the thousands of screams right now that Hitler just pieced out. I heard them all. Anyways, the Umayyad might be dead here, possibly. Well, yeah. It's very likely since... The Turks aren't going after the Umayyad, are they? No, I think they're going after somebody else, but the Umayyad have, no units. I mean, they've got a handful, but... Yeah. I can't believe that. I cannot believe you. Hitler, you messed up so badly. And... You were going to lose units. I do agree that you were definitely going to lose units in that process. But now if the AI sets their sights on Novgorod, oh, that'd be such a bad decision. Who's up here? Swedish-Norway. Still going after, this is Peter the Great's Russia. And Stalin is not super ready to just go in and fight Kiev, which I kind of get that. Khazar is holding back the Mughals, which isn't the bigger threat. I think it would be Harappan is probably a bigger threat to that empire than more than anything else. We'll have to keep an eye on the Umayyad and see what happens there. No other wars in Africa, right? Besides, well, there is this... Yeah, there is a Nigerian war taking place. Nigeria is pretty close. We'll see if they actually fall. How about Chile? A couple peace deals. Actually, quite a bit of peace deals. No new conflict. Oh, yes, there is. People are going after Argentina now. That is pretty much the two natives of the north going after Argentina. This is really the only chance, I think, this is going to be the last chance Latin America gets to stopping Argentina. This is actually really big. I know that we haven't paid attention to this continent as much as probably I would have liked, but I had already pretty much wrapped up the game for Argentina in South America. That is not going to be the case because now you have an Argentina that's at war with all three other CIVS in the continent. All of them. So Carl, I don't know, and Nazca. And then, of course, they probably will peace out with Chile, yes. It's likely that they will. Bulgaria versus Egypt. But, we'll have to keep that in mind. I don't know if I mean, clearly Argentina has lost a lot of military units in their attempted siege of Santiago de Chile, but they'll still be able to defend themselves. It will be close either way. If they can just steal like a city or two away from Argentina, that would be enough to hurt them pretty bad. Because right now they're at 6 cities. No one else is even close to 6 cities. If Mexico continued to be expansive, then possibly different things could have happened. Oh, I did not realize that New York. I didn't realize New York was up on the chopping block. I didn't even realize Texas had this much. Well, they don't really have that much of a navy, but the navy is really helping. Pretty much, you have a navy. New York is going to be the first city you can do a lot of damage to. What are the Confederate states going to do? And is this going to be enough to take New York? I mean, you got 2 melee attacks at the very least. Yep, everyone going after. Oh, can the Sumer attack Egypt? And France is going to stay alive, by the way. It looks like the Moors are not going to be aggressive, and they're attacking from a more difficult position than Germany had. That's safe to say. No, the Sumer can't really do much to Egypt. They could try, but it won't be. Yeah, it will not be easy. Yeah, it won't be easy, that's for sure. Any other colonization going on in the Pacific? Not too much. Again, Hawaii's there. Ooh. The Mountie might get kicked off of Australia. That's a possibility. I mean, you've got a lot of Murray. I feel like Murray. I'm going to say Murray. Yeah, well, they've got a lot of those units. And Chin captured this Chukchi city. Now, Chukchi will be safe. I think Chukchi's going to be safe, even if, like, somehow, incredibly enough, if one civ takes over the entire world, I don't know if anyone could take the Chukchi. I know that we were talking about the fortress in the Sahara Desert. It's possible that could definitely fall. But this is the real fortress, the fortress of Siberia. There is really only a handful of paths. You're guarded with the mountains. This is probably a way better fortress. I didn't consider that, Drew. Drew did not consider that. So, yeah, that's, yeah, so I figured that Chile would have to peace out with Argentina. That doesn't necessarily mean that there won't be any, yeah, look at that. I mean, NASCAR. People were, I think, suggesting that I just call them NASCAR. No, yeah, they're doing a lot better than I thought they were. Maybe some of these symbols were blending in a bit too much with the land, so I was writing them off. Oh my gosh, this would be crazy. I mean, 2 cities would be a big deal for Argentina to lose right now. Oscar the Second. Who is Oscar? Oh, Oscar of Sweden. Oh, I didn't know that was her name. Oh, I must have missed that. The British weren't even going after the French in the first place. Sweden's not going to do anything. France is going to stay alive. So if you pick France, hey, you still got a chance. It's possible. I did not mention that Chukchi was in Ireland. That is pretty funny. And that's what happens when you play on these smaller maps, is that you have more crazy colonization like that, which I think is fun. It does not look like Texas is... Yeah, Texas will not take New York. It's not going to happen. The Sioux still looking really powerful, and maybe in the next one we'll check on the demographics. I think that's what we'll do. We'll check on demographics in the next one, and just to see where we're at. Bulgaria was doing so good. I'm still not over that, to be honest, because I really thought Bulgaria was gonna be great. How is Stalin? Stalin actually not doing well because Kiev somehow has riflemen. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, the Sioux have riflemen. No, the Sioux do not have riflemen. I don't see any. How about Egypt? I thought they were #1 in literacy. I know that there's probably a lot of people that can... There's probably a lot of people that are going to tell me all these other nations that have riflemen. I'm scrolling over it, and I don't really see anybody. So, is Kiev just that good? Well, they do have 2 cities over 20 population. That is pretty surprising, actually. And Benin took Leningrad away from Russia. This is such a weird game. This is so weird. The Maori are holding on to northwestern Australia. Barely. But, you know, they're holding on. Who is this? I'm just going to call them the P. The P-Civ is moving. I'd imagine maybe they're going for Hawaii. I didn't notice them exploring all that much, but it's possible. They could be going for Hawaii. I think Lincoln stays safe unless the Confederate States go after them. If the Confederate States attack from the south, then that's different. That's pretty much the scenario that we're facing. The Moors are gonna. I think the Moors are, if anything, gonna. Well, France can't attack through Spanish territory, so that makes things a little bit weird. Oman is pieced out with Burma. We've got a lot of people going after now. Peter's Russia. One of those people being, is it the other Russia? It might be. The colonies now in modern day Russia are just so weird. There are so many just strange people over here that probably should not be here. Chin doing really well. The Moors with the porcelain tower. Well, there you go. You might not be taking over France, but at least you got up a wonder. And bam, the Umayyad have fall. Well, after several attempts at taking different cities, we finally saw a freaking city fall. After several wars, that we've been seeing wars this entire episode, and there was a lot of possible other cities that could have fallen, but by the end of this episode, we did see a nation destroyed. It wasn't France, though. It was the Umayyad, which is kind of still surprising. Stalin going after, now, Russia. But Stalin has lost a lot of units in his war with Kiev. Pretty much everybody now. These symbols are so similar. I'm pretty sure these symbols are very similar, but I don't even know. We'll keep an eye on them. Both Russian symbols, which makes sense why these symbols would be similar. Boom, Lincoln escapes. Lincoln escapes Texas without the Confederate States getting involved in that conflict too. That's the key there for America. So the next one, we'll probably check over the demographics, and we'll maybe go over religion and things like that. Yeah, probably religion, because this is kind of the height of religion. Yeah, Argentina actually stopped the natives' push here, which I was just surprised that they got it this far. So should we look further into this civ? I'm guessing we should, because I should probably figure out the pronunciation, because now you're at 3 cities. You border the Sumer, who are doing really well in the Middle East as well. So there's kind of this, I like this divide between the Arabian Peninsula. That is very cool. And we also have the Ashanti fighting a war against the last remaining, against Australia. Oh, I forgot about that symbol. Okay, so I'm gonna have to stop right there. It's turn 250, and we're gonna continue to push through here, see what happens. Oh, that's where they settled. So they're actually at 4 cities. Interesting. There are obviously going to be a lot of very disappointed German backers, I guess. I didn't want to say like Nazi supporters, because that just sounds weird, but anyone that picked Germany is going to be very upset after this episode, and I feel your pain. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.